it's me, Danny. I'm here again after like 10 years. And I am wearing this money lei because today, well, because it's the only lei I have, really. Shout out to my grandma. She made this for my graduation. Thank you, Grandma. But really, I'm wearing this money lei to kind of give you an idea of where I did my apprenticeship, my second phase ship. You think you got an idea? Here's a hint. You think you know where yet? Look at this pretty rainbow. Oh. In Honolulu today. You can see the city. Hawaii. I did my second phase ship, my apprenticeship in Hawaii. Beautiful, sunny Hawaii. I'm gonna take this off because it's kind of loud. As you know, first phase consists of 3 months in a training facility, wearing uniforms every day, marching to class, all that jazz. But second phase, you actually get to leave and kind of get your hands on what you would be doing, hands-on the job training of what you would be doing once you get on the ship. So second phase is still 3 months of 3 different departments, but you have some freedom and you can't complain when you're in Hawaii. So my apprenticeship was on a cruise ship. Actually, I'm not gonna say the name of the cruise ship because I'm spilling a little tea. I'm telling you a little bit, the good, the bad, you know, the secrets, etc. So we landed there on my birthday. So I was really psyched. It was like probably like 12 of us from the training facility, all flying from Baltimore to Honolulu. We started in Honolulu. That's where the cruise ship would start. The cruise ship would go to different islands almost every day. We would only stay the night in, I believe, Maui. And don't quote me, because so the whole first month was supposed to be my version of learning the steward department. And let me tell you, they didn't have me learning how to cook. They didn't have me learning anything that had to do with the galley, anything with having to be in the kitchen at all. What my job was on that cruise ship for the first month in the steward department was to clean. Well, that's gonna be your job entry level most of the time anyway, but they really had me cleaning. Like, the teen club on the cruise ship was my responsibility, and so every day I had to go in and clean up after these teenagers. I mean, it wasn't bad, but they also had us pulling luggage at the end of like the voyage. I think it was like a week-long cruise for the passengers. Mind you, it was like 700 passengers, 400 crew members, and not all of them were apprentices at all. Some of these people were there and this is their regular 9 to 5 day to day. The good thing about that for them is they don't have to pay for room and board. They don't have to pay for food because we all ate in this big cafeteria area called the crew mess, and the food was not great. For the crew anyway. I know for a fact the passenger food was good. I'm gonna tell you why. I'll get into that in a second. So yeah, I had to wear the green Hawaiian shirt when passengers were coming in and off the cruise ship. I would have to hand them cool towels that we soaked in like ice water with eucalyptus oil so they could cool down, you know, the luxury. Like we're having to provide this to the passengers. The rooms, where did I sleep? We had to share rooms on the cruise ship. It was 3 to a room. So there was a bunk bed here, bed, and then there's like a bigger bed over here with no bunk. And then we all had our own like locker type armoire situation. I started off with a roomie that I came with from Baltimore, but this lady absolutely hated my guts. I swear, like, there's nothing I could do. Anytime I was going out, she's just like, oh, you just want to dress up and look nice and have people look at you. Like, she just hated everything I did. I swear, everything I did, she hated it. But anyway, I ended up getting switched out of our room because we had like beef, drama. Like, this lady really hated my guts. So she and I were the only 2 women to come from the training facility to be on the cruise ship. And let me tell you, she didn't like to see me getting dressed to go out, and other guys from our same training group would come knock on our door and say, hey, do you want to go out somewhere? And I would get dressed and go. Like, she hated that. So one day We were all in the crew mess after work coming in, even with some of the officers. And I'm going to wash my hands, and she just stands up and yells like, yeah, go wash your hands, because who knows where those filthy hands have been. You're such a whore. Like, she just starts going in on me. And I mean, everyone gets quiet. Everyone just starts staring. And the officers start looking at me, looking at her. They ask me, am I okay? And this is us sitting in the office later once we got called down to the captain, and that is around the time that I got switched out from being in a room with her. And as I'm getting my things to move out of my armoire, she takes the closet door and slams me with it. I almost put my hands on an old lady that day.
Why are you so happy?
I'm having a good day.
Really?
Yeah.
Compared to other days?
Hawaii was really, really beautiful. Seriously, I think I saw a rainbow like every day that I was there. No joke. I ate fresh pineapples for breakfast almost every day, even though I made my tongue a little bit itchy. I'm gonna talk about that. But seriously, it was such a beautiful experience. Only thing about the first month was that it's a 9 to 5 type of day. Like, I think we started at like 7 in the morning and didn't get off till like 4:30. 6 to 6 with OT. So, and then by the time we get off, it's almost time for the cruise ship to leave, because on the cruise ship, you have to be back at a certain time when they're taking their head count or whatever that they're doing. So you have to be back by a certain time, even though you're probably going to be another hour or so before you leave. You have to be back by a certain time. So sometimes there was no point in even getting off the ship, because you know you were going to have to leave. We would leave Honolulu and go to Maui, Kona, Kauai. But there were times that we could get off the ship. And let me tell you about that. My second month was supposed to be a simulation of what I would be doing in the deck department. However, no, I was not doing any deck department work. And a lot of the other apprentices were actually doing deck department work, like kind of sort of chipping, painting, sanding. They would have to go and put teak wood on the passengers' handrails and things like that. You know, like learning a little more things. In doing that, you can get sign-offs on what's called the C project. Your C project is this big book full of pages, obviously, but full of things that you have to fill out, like question and answer, write paragraphs here, get sign-offs from the chief engineer, chief steward, from the captain, you know, in order to complete the C project, which you have to have completed before you go back to the training program for phase 3, if you go the route that I did. So my second month, my deck department month, was actually, I worked overnight, which was cool. I was one of maybe 2 of us that worked overnight in the deck department. So what our job was basically cleaning the pool deck, squeegeeing it dry, and getting lost until almost time to get off in the morning. And let me tell you the really sweet deal about that. We would finish maybe around, I think I worked from 10 to 6. We would finish around like 1 o'clock in the morning. One of the restaurants for the passengers would take our order. What do you want to eat? We would eat at like 2 o'clock in the morning, still sailing, have a wonderful meal. The first engineer would just be like, get lost and come back 30 minutes before 6. So that way, whenever the chief engineer comes to check and see what's been done or what we're doing, we're all accounted for. But every sailor knows what it means to get lost. And don't tell anybody our business, okay? But when somebody says get lost, it means get lost. And don't be found until it's time to be found, for real. But also, working the night shift made it possible for me to go out during the daytime and do excursions, because mind you, when I get lost, I take naps. So I'm fully rested by the time it's time to get off in the morning, and I have this full day full of free time to just do whatever. So what I would do is, they had bike rentals on the ship. You didn't have to pay money, but you just had to give them like your ID, sign out that way, and you could rent the bike and just come back before it's time. Rent the bike all day. I would ride around. I went hiking, Diamond Head. I went on a submarine ride. They did discounted excursions for us, but mind you, they were only paying us half a minimum wage, which is like $3 and change at the time. And so those discounted excursions still took a chunk out of my pockets, okay? But I did them because the experience is everything. And this is Waikiki Beach. in Honolulu. I'm about to hike up Diamond Head, guys. Wish me luck. And the same goes for other ships. People always ask me, do you have time to go out when you're in port? Do you get time to go ashore and do things? The answer is sometimes, because it depends. If you get off at 6 o'clock and your ship is set to leave at 8, you're not likely going to be able to get off. If your ship is staying overnight, that's another story. Now, when our ships would stay overnight, especially in Kauai, there was like this club that people like to go to, this nightclub that people like to go to, and right across from it is like this little beach area. It's a really nice setup. However, I will say drinking and being a merchant seaman do not go hand in hand, okay? On that ship, if you come back and you appear like you've been drinking, even if you haven't, like they can give you a breathalyzer at any moment. And if you fail that breathalyzer, you're getting sent home and you have to pay your way home, okay? As an apprentice, it's not hard to get kicked out and sent home out of the training program, off of your apprenticeship. Like, it's not hard. One wrong move and you are gone, okay? I know a couple people actually that I was there with in Hawaii from Baltimore were sent home. They got kicked out. They had to pay their own way home. And being that we are only there for 3 months and everyone knows that, the people who this is their 9 to 5 every day, sometimes they didn't like that we had it that easy. A few of my friends, that little beach area, they would come out club and go swimming or whatever under the moonlight. Couple people skinny dipping, just having the time of their lives, as long as you sober up before you walk that gangway. Not all of the apprentices from Baltimore went to this cruise ship. Some of them went to like ATC, some went to tankers, some went to container ships, etc. Like, I kind of wish that I went there instead, so I would have gotten a lot more training, but I got the training I needed on the next ship. And also, I'm blessed to have experienced Hawaii and not have to pay a time for it. That's a plus, major plus. Hawaii is very expensive, okay? There was terrible cell phone service, like on most ships, like terrible cell service for me anyway. A lot of my friends didn't have that problem, but I had Sprint at the time. We were required to participate in like fire drills, safety drills once a week, literally like bringing out your life vest from your room. Everybody had a life vest. Everybody had like a safety station. Everybody has like a muster station where when those bells and whistles go off, you know exactly where you're going to meet. Everybody heads outside near the rescue boats, you know, mustering outside. There are people who have been assigned certain duties, you know, to hold up the sign, to let you know the number, to let you know where you're supposed to meet. We're over here type of thing. Like, everybody had a job to do. But with a crew of over 300 people, sometimes you could just kind of skate through it easily. So the cruise ship, like every other ship, they had like gyms and things like that. We were required to use a different gym than the passengers, but sometimes if you knew certain people, you could sneak in there, you could get in good. I was in there a few times, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted the good gym. I wanted to be at the good gym. The crew there, it seemed like there was always some drama going on. Always like, you're sleeping with my boyfriend, and you know, like there's always some type of drama with the crew because they literally live there year after year after year sometimes. So you could get caught up in that drama, but my advice would just be to do what you came to do. My third and final month on the cruise ship, the engine department, which is what I decided on going forward after this. Engine department is actually where I learned the most, which is a good thing. When we were doing any type of overhaul, the apprentice was like all hands on deck, you know, everyone helping, everyone in the engine room, everyone's required to help, everyone's required to do something. But when we weren't doing anything, we're cleaning, we're down in the bilges, cleaning up oil with rags and things like that. The C project was really detailed in the engine room to me, like asking certain specific questions. So I really had to like prod and get those answers, like, I need to know about this. I need to know about this. You have to teach me about this because it's part of my C project and I need to know, because if I leave here without knowing, this is not going to be complete. Okay, I had to put it back on because as I'm concluding my video, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really want to do a part 3 for my third phase ship. I was in Busan, Korea for about 5 months. It was supposed to be 4 months, but I ended up staying a little longer, which does happen if you want to extend your contract. Sometimes you have that option. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, Follow me at Danny_the unicorn. If you want to keep up with my life or see what I've been up to, because I haven't been out to sea lately. Thank you for watching. See you next time. We're going out. Say hello.
What up, though?
Who's not listening? Nick. Hey.
What up, though?
Just hold on, we're going home.